Hi, welcome to my channel Ruby Net Crochet Tejido. In this tutorial I'm going to teach you how to knit this beautiful neck warmer or cowl. It's for the set with the hat that I did last week. They are very easy to do. I hope you guys like it and give it a try. And here is the list of material you're going to need to make it. If you're not already a subscriber, please subscribe and click on the little bell, that way you get notification each time I upload a video. Remember, I make my videos in Spanish and English. If you receive a Spanish video you want to see in English, go to the main page of my YouTube channel. There you will find the English version in there. Also, I have a few playlists, all of them that they have this English title, they're English tutorial. To make this neck warmer for the set with the hat that I did last week, I'm gonna use the leftover yarn that they don't seem like leftover because I hardly use any for the hat. They are from Loops and Thread Impeccable Medium 4, 100% acrylic. They were 127.5 grams each. The color charcoal, true gray, light gray. I'm gonna use this Chiagu 5mm. You're gonna need a round counter, and the good thing about this one, there is a round counter and a marker. If you don't have a round counter like this, you need a marker to mark the beginning and end of the round, and something to count the rounds, and measurement tape, tapestry needle, and scissors. Also, I'm gonna show you a few more color combinations that you can use for this set if you want to combine 3 colors. For example, all of them that I have here, they are from Loops and Thread Impeccable. This color is amethyst, this one lavender, and this one is grape punch. Look at these 3, they look amazing together. You can use something like this. This one is soft rose, arbor rose, and aran, and they look amazing together. Look at this with this one like this. This will look amazing. Aran, burgundy, and rich orchid. They will look amazing together for a hat and neck warmer. This one more for the fall now. They will look amazing. This one is gold, pumpkin, and the aran. It will look amazing for the fall. And also you can combine like this with the gold, with the yellow. Any color, 3 color combination that you can use. Look at these 3 in here. This one is a teal, navy, and light blue. You can use these 3 color combination. You can use black and white with another color, or just black and white. You can, for this set, if you don't have the charcoal, you can use black. You can replace any of the color, or you can do with a blend of color like this, with 1 color yarn. They look amazing. Anyway, that is the stitch that make this set gorgeous. I'm gonna leave a tail long enough to cast on 104 stitch plus 1. The stitch is multiple of 4 and it's done in 8 round repetition, so 104 plus 1 more to close the circumference. I'm gonna do my first slip knot. Pass the working yarn over the tail, pull that loop out. Through that loop you pass the working yarn, you pull the tail, and you have your loop. Show you one more time. You wrap in your finger. This is the easiest way. You pull that loop out through that loop that you created here, like this. You see this one is crossed over the one that go to the tail. You pass your finger, you grab the working yarn, and you pull the tail, and you have the slip knot. Make it smaller, pass through your needle, and you have your first stitch of 105. You can cast on 101, 105, give or take. So like this, you're gonna cast on your stitches. You can make this with a straight needle. I already have a video on how to work the Motif with a straight needle. I'm gonna leave the link. You're gonna see an eye. You click on the eye, it'll bring you the video of the stitch. It's this one here. The only thing that you will have is seam when you sew the two ends together. Here I have my 105 stitches. If you're working with a straight needle, you will have 104. You will do a knot at the end, and then you'll go to the video to check the stitch. So I'm going to close the circumference by passing the first, make sure that this is not twisted. And I'm going to pass the first stitch from the left hand needle to the right hand needle. And I'm going to hold it tight in there with my nails. And I'm going to lose that last stitch, the 105. I'm going to pass it over. I'm going to pull the strand from the ball of yarn to make that smaller. And then I'm going to flip it over. And with the two tails, I'm going to tie that stitch really tight, because that's what's going to close the circumference and don't want to have any gap in between those two stitches. And you're going to close this very tight. You're going to pass the stitch over to the left hand needle. You're going to place the marker and you're going to start with round 1 of the motif. I'm going to start with round 1, and then here you're going to see the written instruction for the pattern. You're going to see round 1 and 2, and then you will see for 3 and 4, and then for 5 and 6, and then 7 and 8. So I'm going to start with net 2, and purl 2. And the same as the hat, I don't want to do any border stitch. I'm going to start right away with the pattern. Net 2, and purl 2, and like that you're going to continue all the way until the end. You start with 2 net and you finish with 2 purl. I finished round 1 and I marked that I did that round. You have to make sure that you keep track of your round, that way you don't repeat the same round twice. That happened to me with the hat. So now you're going to net 2 and purl 2, exactly the same as round 1. Net 2 and purl 2, and like that you're going to continue all the way until the end. I finished round 2. For 3 we're going to move the stitch a little bit to the right, because we're going to start with 1 net and we're going to finish with a net. So we move the stitch to the back, to the end of the round. So you're going to start with 1 net. That's the only change that you're going to do here. And then you're going to continue 2 purl, 2 net, a 2 by 2 rib, 2 purl, 2 net, 2 purl, 2 net, 2 purl, 2 net, 2 purl, and at the end you're going to finish with a net stitch. Now, if for some reason you have to leave your work, and then when you go back, you have to guide yourself by what you have done in that round, because if you work the stitches as you see them from the round before, you're doing the wrong round. Because for example here, I have to do, on top of this purl, I have to do a net. So I have to guide myself which row I'm working, and I'm working around, I'm working around 3. So you start with 1 net, and then you guide yourself what you're doing in here, and then you continue to the next stitch. I had to do on top of the purl, I had to do 1 net, and so on. 2 net, 2 purl, 2 net, 2 purl. At the end you will finish with a net stitch, and that will move the stitch a little bit to the right. I finished round 3, and make sure that you mark the round that you did. Now I'm gonna work in round 4, and it's exactly the same repetition of 3. You're gonna start with 1 net, so net 1, purl 2, net 2, purl 2, and you have to make sure that you mark each round. Okay, so what you do in 1, you repeat in 2. What you do in 3, you repeat in 4. What you do in 5, you repeat in 6. And what you do in 7, you repeat on 8. And like that is the a round repetition that you do over and over. But I'm making sure that you mark every single round that you do, because if you repeat one more time, the sign change completely. I'm telling you, because I have the experience with the hat that happened to me twice, and I had to frog and work and fix things. So if you pay attention to that detail, making sure that you mark what round that you finish, it will make things much easier for you. So like that, you're gonna continue in round 4. I finished round 4. For 5, you're gonna purl 2, net 2, purl 2, net 2. So you will start with 2 purl, and you will finish with 2 net. So we're moving the stitches to the right, like this, and this angle. So purl 2, net 2, purl 2, net 2. I finished round 5. 6 is exactly the same. I did these ones in Spanish. So at the beginning of the round, you're gonna start exactly the same as round 5. You're gonna purl 2, net 2, purl 2, net 2, purl 2, net 2. And like that, you're going to continue in round 6, and we have 2 more rounds to go, and we're done the first repetition. I finished round 6. I'm going to work on 7. In 7, we're going to move that purl to the end again. So you're going to start with 1 purl, and you're going to finish with 1 purl. So you purl 1, and then you start with a 2x2 rib, net 2, purl 2, net 2, purl 2. And like that, you're going to continue. You start with a purl, and you will finish with 1 purl stitch. The rest stay the 2x2 rib. So the only ones that change is in round 3, that you start with a net and finish with a net, and in 7 you start with a purl and you finish with a purl, and 4 you repeat what you did in 3, and 8 what you did now what you're doing in 7. I finished round 7. I'm gonna work in 8. 8 is exactly the same repetition as 7. You're gonna start with 1 purl, and then you're gonna continue 2 net, 2 purl, 2 net, 2 purl, 2 net. At the end, you're gonna finish with 1 purl stitch. And those are the 8 round repetition for the motif. I finished round 8, and I reset my round counter to 0, because I'm gonna start with a repetition of round 1. So I'm gonna change to the true gray next, and then after to the lighter gray, and then I'm gonna do some color combination. For example, I will do a full repetition of the true gray after of the light gray, and then I will continue working with the charcoal. You will see the color combination that I'm gonna do for my neck warmer or cowl. I have my hat here. This is what I've done for the hat. Let me zoom out, that way you guys can see better. A little more. There. So here is 1 repetition with the charcoal, 1 with the true gray, 3 of the charcoal, 1 of the true gray, and 3 of the light gray. So what I have in mind for my neck warmer is to do 1 of the charcoal that I already did, 1 of the true gray. I will do 1 of the light gray, and then and here I have 3 repetitions of the charcoal. So instead to do 3 repetitions of the charcoal, what I'm going to do is 1 repetition of the charcoal, and in the center I will do half of the motif for round with the true gray and 4 with the light gray, and then another other charcoal, and so on. I will continue playing with the color combination, and I will show you as I work. Okay, I absolutely love this stitch and the way it look and the texture. I try this on and it's amazing. I tried William set on him today, and it's so soft and it's gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. So I'll continue working. I want to show you how you're going to change to the next color, and then you can take it. Now I'm going to change color. I'm going to work with a true gray. It's the little darker gray, and I'm going to trap the charcoal behind a few stitches. That way it's easier to lose and more secure. So I'm going to grab it in my left hand, the tail, and then with a new color, leaving a tail to lose later, I'm going to net the first stitch. We have to net 2. So in the next net stitch, you're going to place that strand in between the 2 needles, and then when you net the next stitch, you lift that one out of the way and take out the new color. Yarn to the front to purl, and when you bring the yarn to the front to purl, you see that is trapping that color in there, and you're going to purl 2. Now yarn to the back to net, and you're going to do the same thing. You're going to net this one, and you're going to place that strand in between the needles, and then when you wrap, you see this one is already wrapping on top of that one, and you have to lift this one out, because if you don't, you will pull out the 2 strands. And then when you net the next one, you see, you trap it one more time. You can let that go, or cut it with the tail to loose later, and then you're going to continue working to purl, to net. And like that, you're going to continue working until you have the full repetition of the motif. Round 2 will be this repetition, 2 net to purl. Round 3, you will start with a net and you finish with a net. The rest is to purl to net to purl to net, and the same repetition you do in round 4. 5, you start with 2 purl and you finish with 2 net, and so it's in 6, 7, and then you start with 1 purl to net to purl to net to purl to net. You finish with 1 purl, and 8 is exactly the same repetition. So go ahead and work with the color combination that you like. When I change from the true gray to the light gray, I will show you that way. You can see once again how to change color and how to trap the yarn behind your work. Once you finish the first round, when you change color, you will have a gap like this, but if you pull this tail from the charcoal, that will close the gap, and when you do the next stitch for the next round, that will close the stitch in here, and you don't want to have any hole or anything. I finished round 8 with this color. Now I'm going to change to the lighter gray, and exactly the same way that I changed to the darker gray, the true gray, I'm going to change this one. I already cut the yarn, leaving a tail, so I'm going to grab it in my one of my hair in here. I'm going to grab it here in my left hand, and I'm going to knit the first one with the new yarn. You see this one is under, and I knit the first one. Now when I knit the second one, I put that darker gray, the true gray, in between the needles, exactly the same. Wrap this one, lift that one, and take out the new color. Yarn to the front purl, keeping that gray in the back. Purl 2. Now yarn to the back to knit, and again you're going to trap this one. You're going to place it in between the two needles, and you see when I wrap in here, this light gray is trapping the dark gray. Lift that one out, knit, and knit. You let that one go, and you'll continue. When you do the color change, remember to pull the tail that you left behind when you change color. In this case, it will be the true gray, and that will close any gap in between the stitches here. You see? And then when you do the next round, you have to pull this tail to make the stitch the right size. If you look at my work, and here where I have my begins and end at that change of color, you don't see any hole, big hole or anything, and I still have to fix it when I sew the tails. It will be even. The color combination that I did was with the charcoal. I did 1 repetition of the motif, with the true gray 1 repetition, with the light gray another repetition, and then here for the smaller stripe I did half of the motif with the charcoal and the other half with the true gray, and then half with the light gray and half with the charcoal, and then I did again the repetition of a full motif on each color. In total I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 repetition of the motif, and each repetition is a round. So I did 4 in here and 4 for the 8, 4 of this one, and 4 of that one for the other. I have the designer length. I have 11 inches 28 centimeter. Now I'm gonna cast off my stitches. I did here my 8 round repetition for the motif, plus I did 1 round repetition of round 1. Now I'm gonna knit the 2 nets, and then the first one I'm gonna pass over the second one. Now these two are purl, and you will purl them as you work. Cast off, purl 1, that one from the back, pass it over and cast it off, purl the next one, that one from the back, you pass it over and cast it off. Now these are 2 nets. You net the first one, cast this one out, net the next one. So you're gonna work the stitches as you see them. There to the front, purl 1, and cast this one off, purl the next one, and so on. You're going to continue like that, casting off your stitches all the way until the end of the round. Now you're going to lose the rest of the tails. Secure them, lose them. I have quite a few because the change of color. And the texture and the softness of these cowl or neck warmer is amazing. I absolutely love the stitch. Like I say, it's incredible the way it feels. So I'm gonna lose all the tails, quite a few. Secure them well, lose them, and then I will. If you use different color yarn like me, you have to lose the, for example, the charcoal and the charcoal section, the true gray and the true gray section, and the light gray and the light gray section of the cowl. I lost all this tail in here, and you can see there were any tails in here. And you lose them where this is the leftover yarn that I have from the set, and I have enough here to do another set. The one that you use the most is the darker charcoal, but you can use any of the other color more in the next set, but you can do 2 sets, probably a little extra of this will be left over. Well, this is the end result, and it looks absolutely gorgeous. You can see that it's seamless, and the stripes are perfect. You don't know where is the beginning or end of the round. It's absolutely gorgeous. And look amazing with the hat. Like I mentioned, this is unisex. You can make for any member of your family, for a kid, for an adult. This is absolutely a gorgeous Christmas gift set. Or if you sell your work, this will be a great piece to sell, a great set, because it looks amazing. I already have a request to do another hat with this color combination, with this stitch, but I'm gonna do with a 1x1 rib to make the set. No, the hat a little bit different, just gonna make a hat. So I hope you guys like it, and give a thumbs up, and subscribe to my channel if you are not already a subscriber. And if you make any of my design and you want to send me some picture, you can do it through my Facebook page, Ruby Net Crochet Tejido, or my Instagram, Ruby Net Crochet Tejido. Please share my video with friends and family. That way you help me grow here on YouTube. I wish you have a beautiful day.